I hope you made an honest attempt to solve the problem that I gave you from the previous video. So over here, let's solve that problem. So I'm going to come over here and the formula is the same. I'm going to say const, create a new variable. I'm going to call it, let's say, homework HW is equal to cars.filter, and this receives a callback function, and we're going to receive this item every time, and we need to set our criteria over here. So over here, I'm going to say if, and whatever that criteria is that if that's true, I'm going to say return true. All right. So every time that item gets pushed to that particular array, and we get a new array, which is going to be captured inside homework. So these are the three criteria we need to write. All right. So the first criteria is very easy. I'm going to just come on over here and say item dot cylinders is equal to triple equals 4. All right. So let's just solve one thing at a time, and that's very important for developers to solve problems progressively, one thing at a time, all right, constructively and progressively, not tackle everything at once. That's just not how programmers, good developers work. They do one thing at a time, okay? So I'm going to save this, and I'm going to actually print this homework out over here, HW, save, and I'm going to go over here, refresh, and I get 207 items. So now I want to check if I really got this right. So I'm going to open this up, and I want to make sure that all these cars have 4 cylinders. All right, perfect. Cylinder 4, cylinder 4. I'm going to randomly open someone's cylinder 4. Perfect. Now, the second criteria is that it was made after 1980. So let's take a look at the data, because we have to refer to the data so we see which criteria we want to check on. So I see over here and I find this year property. And this year is not a straightforward, year. It has actually months and dates and different things. So we know that this is a string, and we also know how to slice and dice the strings. We have learned that through the methods, the built-in methods that a string receives. So we can use that. So let's take a look over here. One thing is, before we go there, actually scroll down over here. Before we go there, we already know from our previous videos, when we want to check that both the criteria are true, we use the AND operator, and like such, right? If you don't remember it, you should go back to the operators videos, the comparison operators, I believe, and you will see the AND operator. It checks if two criteria, both of them are true. So we don't just want this to be true, we also want the second criteria I'm going to write to be true as well. So I'm going to say item dot year dot, we're going to just get the first 4 digits. So I can say slice. Slice is a property we have looked at in our previous video that just slices and picks up whatever data we want. So we just want the first 4 characters. So we get 0 index all the way to 4th index. So that's going to get the first 4 digits for us. All right. So we say if the first 4 digits, which are the string, are triple equals 1980, right? Or it has to be after. So I'll say actually greater than or equal to, like such. So if they are greater than or equal to 1980, both of these criteria must be true. So then return true. So we've done this part already, and we are doing this part as well. All right. So I'm going to save, and now come over here, refresh, and I get 75 items. Less than before, it was 200 or something, right? So we are making progress. We are filtering down. Now let's just validate if our data is correct. I'm going to come over here, 4 cylinders true, and yes, it's after 1980, or actually greater than or equal to. So our criteria should be actually, it's after, so not equal. So I'm going to remove that. Save, refresh, and I got 50 items. Perfect. So just make sure we do our homeworks correctly, okay? 1982, that's better. So randomly check some other ones. 1982, perfect. Open another one. 1982, a lot of 1982s, right? 1982. So all of them are 1982. Okay, perfect. So far so good. Our criteria are being met so far. Perfect. Now just the last item. The last item is that the miles per gallon should be greater than 20. So now we have the third criteria. So we can simply add another AND operator. And we know in JavaScript, one operator at a time is being worked on. So it's going to do one thing at a time. So if this is true, and this third statement is true, then it's going to give us our filter. So I'm going to say item dot miles per gallon is greater than 20. Save, refresh, and we get 49 items. So just to make sure Our filtration is correct. Miles per gallon should be greater than 20. Greater than 20, perfect. This should be correct as well. 1982, perfect. And that is the solution to our homework. And one tip I just want to give you is that I don't like to have these long lines of code. So I'm going to break it down at a logical place. So an operator is a good place to break it. So I'm actually going to just hit enter over here, hit enter over here, and hit enter over here. So all of our logic is kind of easy to read. Logic number 1, logic number 2, logic number 3. And I'm just going to actually put an enter over here as well. So these are all our conditions, and this is our block. I just like to break our code, provide right spacing so it's easy for us to read. So that is your homework, and I am going to talk to you in the next lesson. Talk to you.